Yo. Oh, God. Oh, say that. Bro, was speaking about
I'm saying that, man. I'm coming to now. We live now.
Oh, we live, yeah?
You're recording here? Yeah. I was recording. I was setting up the shop, man.
Oh, we're recording now, yeah?
Yeah, now we're recording.
Alright.
I won't see my people murdered. Tell missionaries will rise the burners. Pagans enslaved us, raped us and hurt us. The picture of white Christ is all I do worship. The pastor's the boss, churchery servant. He's just a hustler making the earners. Can't have me like a clown in a circus. Make false preachers start to get nervous. I can vibe with a Christ-like person, cause there was a time when his chief was a turning. He rode in the temple and disturbed the service. Like, let's chase these Pharisees out of the churches. King James said he gave you a version. White as snow, have you singing them verses? They had the Bible, we had the land, but they had the land at the end of the sermon. But Adam was black, Samson was black, Elijah, Elisha, Isaiah was black. The Muslims will tell you that Moses was black, Solomon's black, so was his dad. Jesus hid from Caesar in Egypt. If he wasn't coloured, how did he do that? How? Most of these people won't leave their white Jesus, cause they be like fiends that's addicted to crack. His skin was like bronze that had burned in the furnace. Don't take it from me, cause the scripture says that. Take bad man for fool, his hair was like wool. Jesus they speak of, he looked like a ras. But there was no J, it was Yeshua. The oldest Bible is in Africa. If you think that my hair is natty, just know that his hair was nattier. If you disagree, then debate me. Watch me destroy every challenger. The real Sabbath was on Saturday. Pagans, they messed up their calendar. Living in modern day Babylon. Rastaman burned down the Vatican. They tried to degrade all our women. Cause enough of them, boy, they are batty man. This my system, we're battling. Sodom Gomorrah is happening. Fake Catholics, gay marriages. Don't deal with that, I'm an African. Saying God is a he but can't be a she to a woman is damaging. Father creator, the great mother nature, I'm bringing the balance in. They all know about Delilah. What about the Queen of Sheba? Naomi, Ruth and Esther. All of them women were leaders. We all have fleshly desires, but I know that knowledge is priceless. We are not sinners, we're righteous. Made in the image and likeness. The most high spirits inside us. That's why the wicked they fight us. Slingshot head top for a giant. David defeating Goliath. Solomon called me the wisest. Daniel in the den with the lions. I'm like Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. We will not burn in the fires. Jonah in the belly of the whale. I'm like Job when it really got hard. Joseph in a multicolored coat. Or Noah when he built that ark. Priest Melchizedek and Enoch. Abraham when he let them seeds off. I'm like Moses sending locusts. They ain't got the powers that we got. We're all children of God, so doesn't that make us family? But they wanna judge my lot. Some churches I worship vanity. My body's a temple, Christ like people don't battle me. I ain't got no problem with you, I'm just trying to run out the Pharisees.
African Christianity. What? Saved Islam from Arab savagery. My Akis know who the Nagashi be. Same bloodline as his imperial majesty.
Same bloodline as Solomon and David. From long time found the bloodline sacred. We've been doing this thing since ages. Every day we give thanks and praises. Never spoke to the angel Gabriel, but I do connect with the ancients. That's why I got a shooter for Judas, cause they told me how to deal with the traitors. Call me John the Baptist, the way I be wetting up guys. The law was fulfilled, not changed, so why are they eating swine? I would've told Mary, it's gonna be alright. No woman, no cry. If the Romans come round here, all of my G's will ride. Look, I'm the disciple, rolling with rifles. Won't turn my cheek, I'll just flick down a guy. I'll be like Peter, defending Jesus. If you can't hear, then your ear gets sliced. Tooth for a tooth and an eye for an eye. Can't fool me with your pie in the sky. They're so sure they go into heaven, still none of them want die. Look, I'm the disciple, rolling with rifles. Won't turn my cheek, I'll just flick down a guy. I'll be like Peter, defending Jesus. If you can't hear, then your ear gets sliced. Tooth for a tooth and an eye for an eye. Can't fool me with your pie in the sky. They're so sure they're going to heaven, still none of them want die. Why?
Same thing down, respect. FYABINGHI. I'm back with another one.
You say what?
I keep it running, cuz. I same thing now, man. Pray down the tune, man.
Yes, new tune, final test of the gospel. You understand? Get straight into it. I won't see my people murdered. Tell missionaries will rise the burners. Pagans enslaved us, raped us and hurt us. The picture of white Christ is all I do worship. So that's kind of self-explanatory, you get me? Like, I won't see my people murdered. Like, tell these missionaries that came to like Africa, like they came when man was there, man would have rose the burners. They enslaved us and raped us with that ideology, and they gave us a white Christ, so we should worship white people. You know what I'm saying? So we bun them out still. The picture of white Christ is all idol worship. Fast is the boss. Church of his servants. He's just a hustler making an earnest. You get me? I'm not talking about, I don't know about all pastors, but I know there's definitely pastors that are just hustling. You understand? That's all it is for them. It's just a way to make money. The guy who didn't give his church in the Texas flooding, just one of them out of many. They're false preachers, you get me? Yeah, fam. Pagans and slaves are straight to the picture of work. Pastor the boss, he's just a hustler making an earnest. Can't have me like a clown in the circus. Make false preachers start to get nervous. So you see, anytime them man they come around, man, they have to get nervous. You get me? I can vibes with a Christ-like person, because there was a time when his cheek wasn't turned. So anyone who's really Christ-like, you understand, or trying to be Christ-like, you get me, more than religious, you get me, car. My mum is a Christian, but one thing my mum used to always say, that she's not religious, she's got her own relationship with the Most High. So that sounds more like spirituality, you understand? It's not to say she doesn't have to believe, but she's also got her own intuitive, you know what I'm saying, connection, you understand? So, I can vibe with a Christ-like person, because there was a time when his cheek wasn't turning, he rode on the temple and disturbed the service, like let's chase these Pharisees out of the churches. That's a story of Jesus they don't like to show. During slavery, they didn't talk about that story. You understand? Even to this day, they want to talk about how he turned the other cheek, but they don't want to tell you that he chased the Pharisees, the false preachers, out of the church. Yeah? So let's chase these Pharisees out of the churches. King James said he gave you a version. You understand? King James has got a one version. You understand? I'm not saying there's not truth in that version, but we know the oldest illustrated Bible in the world is in Ethiopia. Yeah? We know, like, the Ethiopian Bible predates the King James Version by 800 years. Facts. Don't shoot the messenger. This is a fact. You understand? So when you're talking about, you know, King James said he gave you a version, you understand? You have to go to the source. And those people in Ethiopia, they're different. The way to salvation isn't to believe Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior. You understand? That's not the actual way to salvation. Believing in Christ is a part of the Christianity, you don't get it twisted, but that's not your way to salvation. The only way to salvation in Ethiopian Christianity is to live your whole life getting closer to God. So it sounds a bit like what my mum said about a relationship. It sounds a bit like spirituality to me. You understand? Which is why His Imperial Majesty was able to differentiate between religion and spirituality. Religion, a set of rules, you know what I'm saying, pushed by men, and spirituality, your own connection with the Most High. So King James said he gave you a version. White as snow had you singing them verses. Because we used to sing verses in the church that they gave us, singing, can we be washed white as snow? And then they wonder why black people are bleaching in Jamaica. You understand? So white as snow had you singing them verses. They had the Bible, we had the land, but they had the land at the end of the sermon. So when they came, they had a Bible in their hand, we had the land, you understand? And when they, by the end of the sermon, by the end of them preaching, we had a Bible in our hand and they had control of the land. You understand? I said Adam was black, Samson was black because Adam was made from the darkest mud. You understand? And we can go historically for that. You know what I'm saying? Samson was definitely a Rasta man with 7 locks. You get a real lion heart, black heart man, you get me? Adam was black, Samson was black, Elijah, Elisha, Isaiah, 3 of the main prophets in the Old Testament. You understand? So you Muslims really have to adhere to them, man. Elijah, Isaiah, Elisha and Isaiah was black. Muslims will tell you that Moses was black. Musa, yeah, Solomon's black, Suleiman, you understand? So was his dad. Jesus hid from Caesar in Egypt. If he wasn't coloured, how did he do that? Most of these people won't leave their white Jesus because they be like fiends that's addicted to crack. You understand? People is like they're fiend for this image, this pagan image. Right? When you done saw in the Old Testament, they said take no idol images, and you have to take an idol image, and it's not even the right image because the image don't fit the description. The description in the Bible is that he had skin like bronze and he had hair like wool. Not even just normal bronze, but bronze in a furnace. Don't shoot the messenger. You understand? Most of these people won't leave their white Jesus because they be like things that's addicted to crack. His hair was like, his skin was like bronze that had burned in a furnace. Don't take it from me because the scripture says that. Take bad man for fool. His hair was like wool. The Jesus they speak of, he looked like a ras. But there was no J, it was Yahshua. You understand? Because them times there was no J, so there was no Jesus. There was no guy called Jesus. You call him Jesus, but imagine like my name is, you know, Robert. You understand? But in the next language, my name is, you know, Roberto. You understand? Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Remain. It says remain in the next language. You can't call for remain when you know that Robert was my name. Because if I'm calling remain, Robert's not gonna think, because you know what I'm saying? That wasn't the name that his mum called him. Like, so if you're talking about Mary or Madonna, you understand? She would have called him Yahshua. You understand? There was no J, it was Yahshua. The oldest Bible is in Africa. You understand? If you disagree, then debate me. Watch me destroy every challenger. This might, yeah, gotta get the bars back up. If you disagree, then debate me. Watch me destroy every challenger. The real Sabbath was on Saturday. Then pagans, they messed up the calendar. You understand? Because the real Sabbath in the Bible was on Saturday. You understand? It wasn't on Sunday. You understand? The pagans messed up. That's why the Seventh-day Adventists, still to this day, they worship on a Saturday. Yeah? Because they're following the original Sabbath. You understand? The pagans, they messed up the calendar. Living in modern day Babylon, Rastaman burned down the Vatican. You understand? One Pope. Paul, all of them. That's burn red. You understand? The reason for that is that it was the Pope that tried to bless the bombs when Rome, Italy, tried to invade Ethiopia. You understand? And Selassie had to stop on one of the Pope's bombs and say this bomb will never go off in ionized country until this day it hasn't gone off. You understand? Because that's the energies that we're dealing with the real righteousness. You know what I'm saying? So, you understand? Rastaman burned down the Vatican. Yeah, so what we're saying? Living in modern day Babylon, Rastaman burned down the Vatican. They tried to degrade all our women, because enough of them boy that are batty man. Because the reason why I'm saying that is because in their concept of God, what they did is they erased the feminine, the divine feminine energy. You understand? They want to talk about God, he. You understand? But when they talk about wisdom in the Bible, it's a she. It's a feminine energy. It's a divine feminine energy. You understand? Mother Nature is a divine feminine energy. You understand? But enough of the people of that time, they were sexist. You understand? They loved their man friend, but it's like they didn't love woman. You understand? So they thought women was below men. So in these early churches, women couldn't even be preachers. Women could not aspire to places of leadership. You understand? Because these men are chased up batty. You understand the batty, man? You get me? And we don't deal with that. Rasta, man, you get me? Enough of them boy that batty, man. This my system, we're battling. If this my system, we're battling. Sodom Gomorrah is happening. Fake Catholics, gay marriages. Don't deal with that. I'm an African. You understand? Because the man those things that their own Bible tells them they're against, but I'm not even getting into that. You understand? Don't do with that. I'm an African. Saying God is a he but can't be a she to a woman is damaging. Because what you're saying is that there's only divine energy in man. Without saying it, you don't have to say it, but if you say that God is a male and there's no feminine energy, then that's what a woman's going to take. You understand? Not all women, you know what I'm saying? But that will be a consensus. So to say God is a he and can't be a she to a woman is damaging. It's either God is either the balance of masculine and feminine energy, or God is no gender. And they'll tell you God is no gender, but they call him he. But if I call him she, you've got a problem, and that's where you got to check yourself. Saying God is a he and can't be a she to a woman is damaging. Father created the great mother nature and bringing the balance in. Because you're called to the Father creator, but you're not called to the mother nature. I'm not saying worship it, but I'm saying realize that it's here. We're meant to be looking after mother nature. If your father's away, then you look after your mother. You understand? The Father creator gave us the creation. All we have is the creation to show love to God, to show love to Yahweh, to show love to Allah, whoever you want to call it. The only way you can show love to your creator is by looking after the creation. Because that's all you have. Yeah? Bringing the balance in. Say God is a he and can't be a she to a woman is damaging. Father created the great mother nature, bringing the balance in. They all know about Delilah. What about the Queen of Sheba? Naomi, Ruth and Esther. All of them women were leaders. Yeah, that's probably the most powerful part of the tune. Because I'm saying everyone knows about Delilah and how she cut Samson's locks. Everyone knows about Eve and how she made them eat the fruit. You understand? But they don't talk about the Queen of Sheba, who was the most royal, you know. When she comes, she was higher than Solomon. She had more riches than Solomon. It's a woman, black woman from Ethiopia. You don't want to talk about the Queen of Sheba. Naomi and Ruth, two powerful sisters in the Bible, faithful. Queen Esther. All of these women were leaders. You understand? And they need to be promoted by the church because women, you understand, they're the spiritual core, whether a man understands this or not. You understand? All of them women were leaders. Naomi, Ruth and Esther. All of them women were leaders. All of them women were leaders. Yeah. Gotta tune the tunes fresh, you get me? Yeah, all of them women were leaders. Anyway, this thing can cut in anyway, innit? I see it there. But can't be a she to a woman is damaging. Father Creator, the great Mother Nature, we're bringing the balances. They all know about Delilah, what about the Queen of Sheba, Naomi, Ruth and Esther, all of them women were leaders. We all have fleshly desires, but I know that knowledge is priceless. We are not sinners, we're righteous, raised in the image and likeness. You understand? We all have fleshly desires. Yes, everyone has fleshly desires, but knowledge itself, you understand, is the real thing that's priceless. You understand? That's what we have to be seeking. Knowledge of self. Knowledge of, you know what I'm saying? We all have fleshly desires. I know that knowledge is priceless. We are not sinners, we're righteous. Because in the Bible, it makes a differentiation between the godly and the ungodly. The sinner and the righteous. So, I don't claim the sinner title, because the Bible makes a clear distinction between the two. You understand? So we are not sinners, we're righteous. Made in the image and likeness, because the Bible tells you we're made in the image and the likeness of the Most High. You understand? It's not my words I'm using here. You know what I'm saying? That's what it says. I was made in the image and likeness, and I like that statement. I like that feeling to know I was made in the image and likeness. Honestly, priceless. We are not sinners and made in the image and likeness. Most High spirits inside us. That's why the wicked, they fight us. Slingshot head top for a giant. David defeating Goliath. So for those of you that don't know, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying the Most High spirits inside us. Even in the Quran, it says Allah breathed his breath. You understand? His spirit. In the Bible, it says the same thing. So the Most High spirits inside us. That's why these wicked men fight us. So we gotta stay strong. You know what I'm saying? That's why the wicked, they fight us. Slingshot head top for a giant. David when defeating Goliath, because obviously David versed Goliath, but he took off his head top with a slingshot. There's some nice, wordplay there. Slingshot head top for a giant. You know what I'm saying? David defeating Goliath. Solomon, call me the wisest. Solomon was the wisest man in the Bible. He wrote a book called Proverbs, which is loads of wisdom in it. Solomon, call me the wisest. Daniel in the den with the lions. Daniel was the one who, he wouldn't bow to the wicked man's God. He wouldn't bow to no man's God. He said the Most High alone. He said he's not bowing to Babylon. He's not bowing to their materialism. He's not bowing to their money. He's not bowing to their ideologies. He's not bowing to their interpretations. He's dealing with whatever he knew. Whatever was connected with him. You understand? Righteousness. And they threw him in the lion's den. And they were sure the lions would have eaten him up. But no harm didn't come to Daniel. The lions were beside him. And if you look at my screenshot picture, you see me there with 2 lions. Yeah? Man walking with lions. You see the lion roaring. Man there chilled. What you mean? Yeah, come like Daniel in the lion's den. That's how I'm feeling in Babylon as well. So Daniel in the den with the lions. Daniel in the den with the lions. I'm like Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. We were not burning the fires. You listen to reggae, remember the tune Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Yeah, that's what that story is about. It's the same sort of story than Daniel, and they didn't bow to the guy, and they was thrown in the furnace. You understand? But we are the fire, so there's an angel with them. You understand? And it wasn't no white angel that you saw in the books. It's a black angel that I can see in my head. They put his wings around them. Because angels can be black. I know it looks mad in your head because you've been conditioned by a racist system. That every time you see an angel, you think white, white, white. Every time you see the Bible characters, you think white, white, white. You understand? But we have to go back to the history of these people. These people was in a land where it was hot. You know? And we have to go to the descriptions of the people of these times. And a lot of people don't want to talk about these things. That's why the wicked, they fire us. Jonah in the belly of the whale. Yeah? Because Jonah is the one who was in the belly of the whale. Yeah? And only when he got his faith back did he get spitted out by the whale. I'm like Job when it really got hard. Job got given all of the trials and tribulations. You understand? The wife, everything take away from him. All these riches, then he stayed faithful and he got double. You know what I'm saying? Joseph in a multicolored coat. Because Joseph was the one given the multicolored coat by his father. He was the favored son. His brothers just sell him off. Sell him off into Egypt. And he became like a king in Egypt. And the same brothers that sell him off had to come and beg him for food. Joseph in the multicolored coat. Or Noah when he built that ark. You understand? Because you know about Noah in the ark already. You understand? Where, you know what I'm saying, 2x2, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So Noah, yeah, because the Most High said you obey the destruction and the flood. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying if you take it literal or allegorical, You understand? There's still a message in the thing. I deal with the message because I feel like the message is more important than whether it all happened or not. You understand? The message is the most pungent thing for me. You understand? So Noah, when he built that ark, priest Melchizedek and Enoch. Priest Melchizedek is the original priest. Yeah? Priestly order, Baba Shanti. Emmanuel, you know, to the Baba Shanti them up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, big up the Baba Shanti, priest Melchizedek and Enoch. Yeah, Enoch was the original Ethiop, the first, 7th descendant of Adam. 7th descendant from Ethiopia. Yeah, he's the first person to walk with God in the Bible. So that means this man never see the grave. Yeah, even when all Adam see the grave, the Enoch, the 7th descendant. Yeah, Bilal was the 7th convert to Islam as well, you know, 7. A lot of 7, so that's how I broke the 7 seals. I'm just throwing it out there. 7. You understand? But Enoch was the 7th descendant of Adam. You know, 7th along the line, you know. And Enoch is the one who walked with God first, before Elijah, because Elijah's another one. You understand? Elijah is the one who went up to heaven in a chariot of fire. You understand? And left the wicked heir. Priest Melchizedek and Enoch. Abraham, when he let them Caesar, because he said, Father Abraham, he had many sons, and many sons had Father Abraham. So Abraham's a father. So I said, Abraham, when he let them seeds off, because he's the one who let the seeds, plant the seeds in the womb. Woman, yeah. For the bloodline to come off, you know? I'm like Moses sending locusts. They ain't got the powers that we got. So when them Hyssops invaded Egypt, and they was enslaving Moses and them man there, you understand? And Moses had to send the plagues at them. The locusts was one of them. Yeah. When the Hyssops invaded. You know what I'm saying, man? Come on. You get me? I'm like Moses sending locusts. They ain't got the powers that we got. We're all children of God, so doesn't that make us family? Because the Christian, the Jew, the Muslim, everyone's meant to be children of God. The Hindus and the Buddhists and the Sikhs call themselves the same thing. So we're all children of God, doesn't that make us family? But they want to judge my lot. Some churches are worship vanity. Yeah, enough churches. If you go there with the locks all natty like Jesus had it, cause remember when Yahshua was here and he's meditating and praying in the mountains and them things there, you think he got time for common sisters and materialism? His hair was nattier than mine, Aya. Yeah, that's why I said if you think that my hair is natty, just know that his hair is nattier. Yeah? Yahshua's hair was nattier than mine. Because none of materialism or none of that what you're dealing with in your church. If Yahshua walked into your church, most of you would bad mind him. You understand? So peace and Enoch, we're all children they want to judge my lot. Some churches I worship vanity. My body is a temple. Christ-like people don't battle me. Real Christ-like people. I've got some real Christ-like people in my life that bless me. And they don't try and battle me or fight what I and I believe, you know? I ain't got no problem with you. I'm just trying to run out the Pharisees. But when you're real, I ain't got no problem with you. But you see them Pharisees that are misleading the people, I don't like it. I'm just trying to run out the Pharisees. We were propagating this white Jesus and all these things. These things are sickness. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to run out the Pharisees. African Christianity saved Islam from Arab savagery. Yes. So when you Christians and you Muslims are debating, just know that it was African Christians that saved the early Muslims from the Arab savagery. The Nagashi they called him. My Akis know who the Nagashi be. Same bloodline as his Imperial with your Majesty. You understand? The same bloodline as Haile Selassie. That ancient bloodline all the way from the Queen of Sheba through to Menelik, through to the Nagashi that saved the Muslims through to his Imperial Majesty, which was the last one to sit on the throne of David with the Ark of the Covenant rest. Holy land, Ethiopia, and as motherland, birthplace, Kush. Yeah? So, say, you know, my Akis know who the Nagashi be, same bloodline as Imperial Majesty, same bloodline as Solomon and David. Yeah? From a long time, from the bloodline sacred. We've been doing this thing from ages. You get me? Every day we give thanks and praises. Never spoke to the angel Gabriel. I never spoke to the angel Gabriel. But I do connect to the ancients. There's a spiritual energy that I connect to. That's why I got a shooter for Judas. Because they showed me how to deal with the traitors. Yeah, because Judas sell out Jesus. So I got a shooter for them Judas there. Because the ancients told me how to deal with the traitors. Eye for an eye, you know. You know what I'm saying? Because they showed me how to deal with the traitors. Oh, where's that bar though? That's why I got to shoot it for Judas. And show me how to deal with the traitors. Call me John the Baptist, the way I be wetting up guys. And you know John, you know he did the baptism. So I'm wet them up. Wet up the wicked man as well. Call me John the Baptist, the way I be wetting up guys. The law was fulfilled, not changed, so why is man eating swine? That's the big question. I know my Muslims will be clapping right now. I know that the Jews will be clapping right now. Because Yahshua himself said he came to fulfill, not change the law of Moses. Fulfill, not change the law of Moses. But yet somehow you felt like he was changing the law of Moses. Because if you couldn't eat pork, that's changing the law of Moses, not fulfilling it. You understand? So the law was fulfilled, not changed. Why is man eating swine? I would have told Mary it's going to be alright if the Romans come around here, all of my Jews will ride. You mean? When I'm a real disciple, I'm the disciple rolling with rifles, won't turn my cheek, I just lick down a guy. Because like Jesus said, he didn't come to change the law of Moses, but fulfill it. So I won't turn my cheek, I lick down a guy. You get me? I'm not saying, or even if I turn one cheek, and you're lucky if I turn a cheek, I've only got one cheek to turn. So by the time you try to clap this cheek, I ain't got no more cheeks to turn. Anyway, you have to grab your hand and crush it. You get me? I'm the disciple rolling with rifles, won't turn my cheek, I just look down a guy. Cause I don't believe in turning the cheek anyway, because the slave masters taught us that verse especially, so that we turn the cheek when they was whipping us. You understand? So I'm not having that anyway. So I'm the disciple rolling with rifles, won't turn my cheek, I just look down a guy. I'll be like Peter defending Jesus. If you can't hear, then your ear gets sliced. Because when they came for Jesus to take him away, Peter pull out his sword and just chop off man's ear and say, yo, my man, rock steady. You get me? And Jesus had to tell him, nah, it's cool, Carl, there's a bigger plan. But some people like to say he condemned Peter. He didn't condemn him. Because Jesus himself said the greatest love is the one who's willing to die for his friend. So Peter was the main revolutionary warrior. That if there was not a bigger plan, Peter would have been the one to defend Jesus and chop off, in lucky him chop off in air. If anything, if you ask me, he was he was very nice. Because his neck would have gone if it was, before Jesus couldn't even tell me a neck gone, man. And it's too late. I remember Jesus healed his ear. Jesus, obviously, they say he can do all things, but I don't know if he can sew your head back on, you know? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, if you can't hear, then your ear gets sliced. Tooth for a tooth and an eye for an eye. Can't fool me with your pie in the sky, Peter Tosh. They're so sure they're going to heaven, still none of them want die. Why? Hear what I said? Tooth for a tooth and an eye for an eye. That's the original law. Came to be fulfilled, not change it. You understand? And I'm not taking no slave doctrine. I'm sorry. I can't take no slave doctrine. In the earliest churches, they used to have a white overseer that used to oversee the pastor and make sure he was saying the right thing. So I can't take this one here. I've got to go by my own interpretation. We had a big debate with our Muslims, with the Muslims. We talking about our Muslim brothers and sisters about taking scholars' interpretations or dealing with our own. Now, me personally, I have to deal with my own intuition because the next man could be wrong or misguided or have his own political or social agenda. But I know with myself, the Most High must be able to give me whatever the Most High gave me. If the Most High didn't give me enough intelligence to know, then that's that. You understand? But let me just finish it off. I'm the disciple rolling with rifles, won't turn my cheek, I'll just lick down a guy. I'll be like Peter defending Jesus. If you can't hear, then your ear gets sliced. Tooth for a tooth and an eye for an eye. Can't fool me with your pie in the sky. And then tell us about heaven in the sky and all of that. No, you can't fool me with that. I'm not righteous for no heaven or no afterlife. Yeah, whatever comes after. I'm righteous because that's the right thing to do, and I'm trying to leave that legacy on the earth. Furthermore, if you manage to prove to me that there's no afterlife, I'll work harder with my righteousness. Because at least in that afterlife, I can, live it out and maybe do something more righteous over there. But if this is the one life I've got, and it's even more important that I leave a righteous legacy here. You understand? So, tooth for a tooth and an eye for an eye, can't fool me with the pie in the sky. They're so sure they're going to heaven, and they say if I just could I believe. I don't believe in that. I believe it's actions, words, deeds, and actions. You understand? Because, there's faith without works is dead. So you can believe all you want, but if you haven't got the works to go with that, it's dead. You understand? So, tooth for a tooth, eye for an eye, can't fool me with a pie in the sky. They're so sure they're going to heaven, still none of them want to die. Why? Because all these Pharisees are sure they're going to heaven. You understand? All these big rich preachers, they're sure they're going to heaven. But it come like they're scared of death. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you about something spiritual. Anytime you've got a real spiritual peace inside yourself and acceptance, you don't have to fear death. Because then if you really know your God and you know what go on, you're not gonna fear that, because you know that's when you're returning to your maker. You understand? I'm not saying to run in front of a bus, no. You preserve your life because you've been given life. But I'm saying we don't need to fear that transition, because you've got one thing that's been promised to you, and that's death. So you have to learn to deal with that one day and live your life in a way that would make you not have to regret that transition. Because that's what I feel like it is, a transition. Content over everything, breakdown, done now,
Bang.
gospel, rah. Subscribe right now, G.
I say, I'm like thing, cousin. Yeah.